Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Got an interesting story about a 29-year-old teacher that has 4 degrees who wants to join the Great Resignation because she's tired of working way above her paycheck. And honestly, please put in the comments if you feel very similar, whether or not you have a college degree or 4 of them or not. There are so many people around the world that are trying to figure out what to do with their lives. They've came to this point in life where all of a sudden life doesn't mean what it used to mean. Their goals are now different. We all got a taste of freedom, and now bear with me. Freedom in what I believe in the middle of tyranny, when everyone was forced to go home and shut their doors, lock themselves in their houses, and work remotely from home. But in that horrible time, also there were so many people that realized what they used to want in life is no longer what they want anymore. They want freedom. They want to be able to do what they want when they want to do it. And a lot of that freedom comes from owning your own business. Even though it's incredibly hard work, it's very important for people to be able to make their own way and be able to make their own decisions and not be, lorded over, with a supervisor who's got their thumb on you because of their own insecurities. I'm gonna read a little bit of this story, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story. And this is why I created that course on how to start a side hustle, because so many people do not have the nuts and bolts to understand or contemplate starting their own business or side hustle, and what kind of freedom can come along with that in a world where we are forced to take out debt to start businesses. That's not the way to do it. And so that's why I started that course. But let's dive into this real quick and talk about it. Um, says right here, it felt like a calling. Nina's parents are both teachers in her home country of France. Her brother is teaching back home too. Her aunts, uncles, even her husband's father is a teacher. It's insane, she told the magazine. There was a familial pressure to become a teacher, to say the least. But Nina, 29, says she is passionate about teaching and loves the kids. She works so hard to educate. She taught for 2 years in France and has been an English language arts teacher in an Arizona high school since the pandemic started. But she's not sure she could do it much longer. Like so many other workers, waning in the waning days of the pandemic, especially teachers, she is seeking a career change, but she's not entirely sure where to begin. She says, I don't want to be a teacher, Nina, a pseudonym Fortune is using to protect her privacy, recently wrote in the career guidance subreddit. But I've been in education for so long that I don't feel like I'm qualified enough to do anything remotely interesting, even though I have the fire and willingness to work hard. Says the pandemic, which brought about 2 years of debating how and what to teach kids, fueled a teacher shortage that has put more pressure on staff, intensifying burnout and leading more teachers to search for an exit ramp. The effect is similar to what employees in corporate America face amid layoffs and the great resignation, in which millions of workers have vacated positions amid continued pandemic fatigue. I'm not going to bore you with the rest of the story, but let's use this as an example because it's a very good example. Right now, people have gotten a taste of financial freedom or the ability to stay at home and choose their own way, right? Make their own schedule, work remotely from home. The part that a lot of people have not understood, and please, guys and ladies, if you own a business and you've been in it for 20 years or 20 months, please put down what you think about this below too. Because people have been able to choose their own schedule with this remote working and they like it, they enjoy it, they're on their own, they're feeling freedom. Well, another thing that comes with that and owning your own business or doing a side hustle to build wealth on the side, get out of debt, and really charge your own path comes the ability to stand up tall because you are your own person now. You are, everything's riding on you. And just like here, where Nina says, I have plenty of fire and desire to do something different, I just don't know where to start. So many people need the nuts and bolts. And one thing that I've learned in my experience, in my lifetime experience of so many different types of side hustles. Sorry, someone down the stairs in the hotel we're staying at must be playing drums on the hors d'oeuvre plates. Is that not only is it up to me, but I can now have the freedom to do whatever I want outside of my business. Yes, it's hard work, but I can make my own schedule so I can in turn do important things with my family when the time comes. I can make my own schedules. I also have the ability to claim legal tax write-offs, loopholes that the rich have been using forever because they are in business for themselves or they're employing other people and they are giving back to the community. So many different ways. One of the ways, by starting a business, eventually it gets big enough to where you're blessing other people with employment. And that has its struggles and stress, but it also has its blessings and benefits, right? Another thing that I think is very, very important is everybody that has a business or a side hustle, and like, let's say something as simple, and I teach this in the course of literally learning what to sell, what to buy, and how to sell and buy it for the maximum profit potential. But the ability to take that money and grow it into another type of business or a side hustle, and taking those side hustles and those businesses and going from bigger to bigger to bigger. Eventually, you're doing things like real estate development and things like that. Or you can always stay small and you can do, garage selling and making 20, 30, $50,000 a year, just going to garage sales on the weekend and selling these things that you find in garage sales on Craigslist, Facebook, things like that. But my point being is that so many people just don't have those little nuts and bolts, and all they see is people that already have big work trucks, big buildings. But it didn't start there. It always started small. And it's so easy and so vital that people learn these skills, because they're skills, even if you don't want to put them into practice now, you can start to get to know them and start to recognize opportunities. And when the right opportunity comes around for you, you're able to go grab it and take advantage of it. So guys, I'm going to put a link to that course down below. And I thank you for watching this, but I really want to encourage you. If the last 2.5 years have taught us anything, it is that life as we know it is changing, and it's changing rapidly. And so you need to have a plan to be able to make more money as this inflation gets worse, but also have a plan on taking that money and doing something with it, whether it being paying off debt or funding a retirement plan for you and your family, or being able to make those vacations that you've always wanted to do, but you've never had the extra cash, or quite possibly taking that money and buying time with it now, because you don't have to go to work all the time. You don't have to show up Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or work the graveyard shift anymore. That's what's vital. So guys, I'm gonna put a link to that below. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and put down in the comments your experiences from side hustles, the pros and the cons. People need to be able to learn from our success and our failures. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.